Oh my god, this is actually happening. Oh god, okay. Welcome, everybody, to the inaugural episode of Pagan's Undersea Reflection. I wanted to make this, entrance more flamboyant and flashy, but at the same time, I've recorded this at least, 10 times now, and I kind of stopped giving a fuck. So, alright. So, let's get into the nitty-gritty. So, I may or may not have promised somebody in the Crows couple weeks back that I would not come back until I've made something of value. At least that's what I believe the direct words I believe I said. I don't know if this would count as something of value, but you know what? I don't fucking care at this point. I just want to make this thing, and I'm antsy with anticipation to tell the world how I feel about things. Because this is, if you couldn't guess by the title, this is a solo podcast where I have to let you people into the world of this crazy madman who sits in his basement all day playing whatever and wishing his life was better than it was. So come along as we go on this long, chaotic journey into my deep psyche. Alright, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna go unfiltered for 20 minutes, maybe. Okay, with all the stuttering, and all the long pauses, and all the weird, going for 10 times, and all the and all that, all stupid bullshit. You're gonna hear all of it. All of it for 20 minutes, because I'm really fucking frustrated how this is coming out. Okay? Sorry if you're seeing the angry side of me, but fuck it, I don't care anymore. So, this is Pagan's Undersea Reflection, take 100. Oh yeah, that's why I'm frustrated. Let me tell you, because I think I've recorded over an hour of audio, and I've just kept deleting it and destroying it just because I hate how it's come out until now. Which, it's literally just hearing me go, and just long pauses for a couple hours, no. Couple seconds of me just pausing, trying to think of what I'm trying to say. And just getting fed up with what I'm trying to say, you know? It's just, it seems so much easier to, think, I'm stuttering again, it's happening, oh my god. Anytime I try to put, a complete thought out, it just ends up, halfway, and I don't like that, and it's getting me angry in many ways. But I guess that's just the growing pains of making content, especially audio content in any way, especially any audio content that's completely unscripted like this. You're just hearing me ramble for hours. Well, I'm hearing myself ramble for hours. I'm gonna cut a half or most of this out so you don't have to hear me get completely angry and fed up. So, welcome to the show, I guess. Welcome to the remaining part of the show, where Pagan just gets all fucking frustrated for a good 20 minutes. Okay, what's an actual topic I can talk about? Wow, I had so many topics going in, and then suddenly they all disappear when I get nervous and start, I have to put the limelight on me. It suddenly disappears, you know? No, I had some topics that I wanted to talk about. Let's talk about Dark Souls. Why not? Fuck it. Let's talk about Dark Souls for a minute, and why I don't even know what I want to talk about with Dark Souls with. Oh yeah, if Dark Souls are really RPGs, because I've had a couple discussions with people about this, where people will go out of their way and say, nah, Dark Souls isn't an RPG, it's just an action-adventure game with RPG elements. And I think that's incorrect, because there's a lot of RPG elements in this game, besides the setting being a weird medieval place, I guess. Besides the setting, there's also a lot of, goddamn, I thought this out already. Why am I talking about Dark Souls? Why? I don't know anymore. I completely forgot why. It's about being RPGs. They're RPGs, okay? They're action RPGs, and those are still RPGs, okay? That's what it is. That's what it is, okay? Fuck. I don't need to explain myself. I'm just gonna. I don't need a reason to think they're RPGs. I think everyone who's playing the game would go like, yeah, you know, you gotta shift through equipment, and there's all these stats and shit, and there's classes kind of, but you kind of can mold the classes in any way you want. So it pretty much is an RPG, and it's more like a Western RPG when you think about it. Like, it has a lot of those that character creation blank slate thing going with it that most Western RPGs have. It's very roleplay heavy. Like, you can basically play any character you want. Yeah, like if you want to go for a powerful mage build, you can, or if you want to just do a strong guy with armor, you can. So it's literally an RPG. No matter which way you shake it, you can't say it's not an RPG. It gives you so many role-playing elements for you to just play with and tweak at your own leisure. So that's why it's an RPG. Oh god damn, that was not as hard as I thought it was gonna be. Even though this has been literally suffering for me. What else? What else can I talk about? What can I talk about that's interesting? You can get through the interesting ramblings of Pagan. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I want to know people's thought process and how different it is from mine. Because how I think, I usually just, when I'm thinking about something, I start getting up and start pacing around randomly and start thinking about random topics in my head for whatever reason. And I wonder if people do the similar things. Do they just get up and they just walk around their room and then realize they've just been walking in circles for 5 minutes, thinking about why Richard Nixon was a good president, if Richard Nixon was a good president or not, or what would make him want to do something like Watergate, or just thinking about just thinking about how they can make this next video without it falling apart. They make something like what I'm making right now and make sure it's not falling apart and whatnot. And if it should go scripted or unscripted, Does anyone think like that? What does people think when they're walking down an alleyway, just and they don't seem like they really care about anything that's going on around them? What are you guys thinking? Are you thinking about bills or your mortgage or some shit? Or is your thought process like mine, where you're thinking about okay, maybe you're thinking about your bills and mortgage, but then all of a sudden you're thinking about this TV show you watched last night, just out of the blue, and then you're thinking about what made the TV show good, and if you just watched, or you watched the movie earlier, are you thinking about the movie? How much do you think about the movie before you kind of just forget about it? Or do you not forget about it? Do you just think about it all day? Does your mind kind of just wander everywhere at once? Because I don't know, I've always wondered what people thought when they did shit. What if you're the people at work who are just working all day, do you just think about the work? Because I don't ever think about what I'm doing as I'm working. I kind of just rely on instinct a lot of the time, because I think whatever I'm I would think about I'll just fantasize about what I could be doing with my time. I could just be working out, or I'll start thinking about a story that's cocked up in my head about whatever. I'll think of a cool story that I can tell, I can write about later, which I never do. But it's cool to envision an entire world. You build this whole fantasy world in your head, and then you're thinking to yourself, oh yeah, I'm gonna go tell that story. I'm gonna go write that story later. That's what I think when I'm in the middle of working on something, at my job working. I don't know what other people think when they're working. Are they thinking about just their work and trying to get it done, or are they thinking about their girl, or are they thinking about I don't know. I've always wondered this, and I guess I can look it up, but that's the interesting part of like people's minds. Like every individual is so different from each other in like thought process, in like worldview, in personality, that you'll end up, your thought, like your whole like mindscape is gonna be completely different from somebody else. Well, at least that's what I think. I still don't have like any proof that everyone's thought process is 100% different from each other, because I can't read your mind, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess. It'd be pretty fucking cool to read people's minds. I know that's like a major personal like invasion of privacy, and that's kind of why like I shied away from it anytime I think about it. But it would really be cool to understand other people's thought process on things, how they come to certain conclusions. Even though, again, like I said, it would like break a lot of personal boundary things. Well, you know, or just personal boundaries. Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, I've recorded for like 10 minutes, so at least I'm doing something right, I guess. So yeah, if you couldn't figure out, this is how, I guess, this is like my thought process in a way. Just going completely unscripted, where I'll start rambling about whatever. I think it's pretty cool. Like, I think people, like, part of me thinks people would be like generally interested in what I had to say about like how like my train of thought goes, like how it gets derailed immediately after. It's hard to like think about one topic at once, because the train of thought just gets derailed immediately and start thinking about something else completely and entirely. Yeah, that's why I'm better in conversations, because like you can at least ground me to whatever topic we're discussing without me having to like leave it, because you know there's like a social expectation to finish that conversation and like keep it going for a while before it kind of sputters out and we go on to another topic. So yeah, that's why I think I'm better in conversations, if that made any sense whatsoever. Yeah, trying to filter out everything I'm trying to say really isn't working, I guess. Why do I say I guess a lot? That's like a habit where I'll say I guess or like I think. Like I'm never like fully committed to whatever idea I have, even though I'm like running with that idea completely. So I really shouldn't say I guess or I think. I should just like say more I know, I think. It's happening. Oh my god. Everyone's gonna think I'm fucking crazy. I think I could be a decent live streamer. I know this is like a big jump from what I was just saying earlier, but like after watching live streamers, they seem like they're in their own like zone, and like their chat really like helps them like find that like creative energy. Creative energy? Like, okay, if they're literally just playing a game for like 5 hours and they're like, and they have a lot they can say a lot, and their chat kind of helps them with like conversations. I don't know where this idea is going. I'm gonna just stop where this idea. I'm gonna stop this idea right here. Maybe if somebody in the comments, no one's gonna read this comments, because I think it's only the crows who might see this, and probably not all the way. I don't know how far I am gonna put this in the video, but I don't know if you're interested in what I was trying to say about live streams. Just like ask, I guess. I'll probably, being in a conversation will probably make it like a little bit easier for me to oh man, I completely forgot what I just fucking said. Something about live streams. Yeah, just ask me my ideas, like what I was going with that, and then I'll tell you, because it'll be a little bit easier than in this like unfiltered mess of a solo podcast. Okay, so what else? Let me talk about music, since music seems to be is a topic of mine that I always in my head that always ends up in the same place. Like, I want to branch out with music. Like, I listen to mostly rap and hip hop, but I realize I might listen to too much of that, and I don't want to like be the I just listen to rap guy, because I've never liked that guy. I've never liked that person who says, oh, I only listen to like screamo, or like I only listen to I only listen to like postmodern rockcore, or whatever the fuck these like hipsters talk about. Like, I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the guy who like experiences it all, who sees all music for what it is, and like enjoy the art form in itself. You know, that's what I want to do. So I've been trying to branch out and listen to different music. So for the most part, I've been listening to a lot of metal, like just heavy metal, like Silence of the Lambs, a little bit of them. Who else? Listen to some Iron Maiden, because they're probably the coolest band. I think Iron Maiden's the coolest like metal band ever, honestly. After being like stressed out for like the last 2 days over making sure this thing comes out perfectly, I'm starting to realize it's better off if I just kind of like calm down and just, you know, let it happen. Because the whole point of like the entire decompression chamber type video was to decompress. So if I'm just getting stressed out about like the whole making of process, like just making sure the audio is like listenable and all that shit, I'm kind of like defeating the purpose if I'm just gonna be like angry and full of anxiety afterwards. So okay, I'm just gonna calm down and just whatever comes to my head. Well, since I haven't been in the Crows for a little bit, I might as well just talk about what I've been doing up since I left. Well, besides putting this off for like a good 2 weeks, I ended up I was suggested by a family member by this higher power that I call my mother. She told me, you know, maybe you should go to the gym because you're looking kind of like you're gaining a few pounds. And you know what? I took a minute and realized I've been after eating like Chick-fil-A for like 3 weeks straight. I probably was gaining like more than enough weight for her to justify saying that. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? Let me just go to the gym. Usually how this goes is like I end up trying to do everything, and then the next day I'm all sore and I don't want to go again. So at least that's how it was until recently. So I ended up going to the gym. I decided, I don't really care that much to do everything this time. I just want to run and that's it. So I got on the treadmill and decide I'm gonna put on some good bangers. Some good bangers on my fucking phone, so it can hype me up, making this boring routine, this little boring routine I'm doing a little bit more fun. And I don't know what happened, but I feel like I saw the light, if that makes sense. By the end of my I ended up running for like not 2 hours. That's an exaggeration. I ended up running for like maybe an hour on the treadmill. Like I started at like 2.5 because I didn't like I said, I didn't feel like doing too much. And then it ended up going to 4.0, excuse me, ended up going up to like 4.0, and then it went up to 5.0, then it ended up going to 6.5, because I was just really feeling myself at that point. Like all the adrenaline hit my brain. I think it was the combination of hearing Kendrick's DNA, like Kendrick Lamar's ultimate banger, DNA, pulsing into my ear. Is pulsing the right word? I'll go with pulsing. It was like pulsating, that's better. Pulsating in my ear, and I felt invincible for just like a slight moment, or well, a slight 30 minutes. I just felt invincible, like I was untouchable, like I had like all the power within me. Like it was like I felt like a king. Like I was like, you couldn't stop me. You know, I'm gonna play that song next time I go to the gym. I'm gonna play the Kanye West "Can't Stop Me." Well, no, or maybe I should just play the original dubstep like version. Whatever. This is ramble again. Anyway, so I ended up getting really, really attached to going to the gym now. I go like for like the last 3.5 weeks, I've went like every day. Well, every weekday. I decided to skip weekends because like people, my people I know in real life want me around on the weekends, so I have to oblige. I have to. What's the word? I have to appease these peasants, as they say. I gotta appease these peasants with me being around. Just me being there makes them happy. So I am obliged to come over and show these peasants what's up. But that's on the weekends. So during the week, after a long day of work where I bullshit the entire thing, I just go straight to the gym, get a good fucking workout, and I've kind of enjoyed it. I've liked how it's gone. Like just today, I ran like 6.0, like straight for like 30 minutes. Like, you know how like in the beginning when I started, I said I had to work my way up there. Here I just like said fuck it, I'm gonna just straight go like the highest I think I can for like 30 minutes straight consistently, and I just felt like my whole body trembling. I felt like my bones were about to like fall apart. I felt like I was losing consciousness slightly. Like I felt like my brain was feeling kind of fuzzy, but something inside me told me I should push a little harder for this to. I should push a little bit more, and I'm proud that I got to the 30-minute mark, and I'm like, yes, I've succeeded. I've become more powerful. Like I felt like I leveled up in a fucking RPG for a minute. Like I felt like I could see my stats for like a couple seconds. Like, oh, your dexterity went up by like 5, and your willpower went up by 8. That's how it felt. Like I felt like I fucking beat a boss or something, and it felt great. And I feel fucking exhausted after just doing that, but it was enjoyable. I have to say, I didn't understand it till now that this is probably why there's so many fucking gym rats I know who just spend like every waking moment they can in the gym, because like it's nice to like. I don't know, it's like a decent feeling, you know what I mean? Like it's worth the time investment. That's what I've come to learn. Well, at least that's what I keep telling myself, because I checked the scale today, and I somehow gained like another like 10 pounds out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh fuck, I have to. Oh man, I'm nowhere close to like losing any weight, but you know what? It doesn't matter. I enjoy going to the gym as much as I do lose weight. You know, I think the fact that I'm not like focusing on just losing weight is what's like keeping me going there. Like I just enjoy the feeling of being there, and I think that's what's like, I don't know. I think that's more rewarding than just seeing numbers on a scale go slightly down every like 3 weeks. Because I feel like it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just the dopamine going off all the time that I enjoy. That's almost exactly what it is. But to anyone who's listening to this, working out is not as bad as it seems. It might suck like the first it might suck like maybe the first 2 days. Like, yeah, like your body, like especially if you like you're going out of your way to like do everything or like work all the parts of your body at once. Yeah, it's gonna fucking suck as soon as you like get home and you, like your body is like sore as fuck. But eventually you kind of like your body just adjusts to it, and then I feel like I have a lisp every time I fucking talk. Like, I've never noticed this until I started speaking like on a mic, that I feel like I lisp every time I say anything. Whatever. But the point is, working out is cool for cool people, and that's why all the Chads are going to the gym every day, and like all the Tiffany's are at least using an elliptical for an hour a day, because it's good. It feels good. It feels good after a while, and you become more powerful. You become a stronger person, both physically and mentally. So it's okay to work out like a decent amount. That's what I've come to find out. So yeah, I like the gym now. I don't know if that's really interesting to you guys, but for me that's been like the past month and a half, or I said month and a half, the last like 3.5 weeks. So yeah, I guess I got that going for me. Stay woke, niggas creeping, they be creeping. There you go. I decided to add a little artistic spin to this great endeavor I'm taking right now, because I've been pondering, is these deep compression chamber type videos considerably art? Like, would you be able to consider this art? Because like I've been in deep thought about this. So, yeah, the typical decompression chamber, it has the music, it has the atmosphere setting tone, and then it has the audio. But I'm thinking to myself, is this really any different from like a shitty blog post, or like a drunken rambling from somebody that you know? Well, because it is literally a drunken rambling from this fucking otaku weirdo, for the most part, or whatever person, whoever's making the solo podcast. They're probably fucking weird. Anyway, is there where's the artistic merit in this? Like, cause I wanted to know, where's like the fine line? How can I make this a little bit more creative than just, you know, me talking into a mic? So I've been thinking about things I could add to. I know this is a little, like, I don't want to blow my load and think of all these like crazy ideas for these videos before I like even like post the first episode. But you know, I've been thinking what I could add. I don't know if I'm gonna add it to this video specifically, since I'm kind of rushing to get this out. But if I ever make another video of this in the future, I'm thinking maybe I want to add some like cool effects to make it feel more like, make you feel the emotions, make it more like a relax. Okay, what I've been thinking, just adding pictures for when I say specific things, so you get the idea of what I'm talking about. Because like I've always wondered, okay, sometimes the person in the solo cast will say something that will bring up somebody or something that I'm not aware of, or I've never heard, and I wanna know what he's talking about. Like, let's say he brings up uh fuck, what's his name? The guy who wrote Infinite Jest. That think of that guy for a minute. Hold on, let me very professional here. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up the name. But as I'm doing this, so think of this guy, and imagine you don't know who he is for whatever reason, which is very possible if you don't, if you never read the book or you've never heard of the author. So if I did, let's say I do that, and I bring him up, and you're like, you, the person, is like, oh, scratching your head, like, who the fuck is David Foster Wallace? Yeah, who the fuck is David Foster Wallace? You're gonna like stop the video, or maybe you'll click into another tab as the video's playing, whatever you want to do. Like, and you have to look it up on Google, and then you're like, this takes the immersion out of this. Like, I just wanna listen to you ramble about anime shit. I don't wanna take my time to look up David Foster Wallace, because I want to feel like I'm part of this conversation. I want to feel like this is a conversation, and I don't know, like, and if I have to take my time to like understand what you're talking about, that breaks the immersion, you know. So I was thinking of just like adding images to the video, so maybe it won't take the immersion out, possibly. I don't know. Everyone's different. I feel like it definitely takes the immersion out if I don't like know exactly what you're talking about, like, or what you're referring to. If you didn't explain yourself like concretely beforehand. So yeah, yeah. That's all I wanted to say about that. I think, yeah. Well, catch me in like 2 hours. I'll think of something else that I want to bring up. Quit crashing on me, Audacity. What the fuck? Anyways. So, dear viewer, my dear viewer, let's talk about a topic that I generally like to talk about with some of my closest friends. And that's the topic of drugs. Good old drugs. Now, drugs are not for everyone. That is made clear to me. But I think I have a pretty interesting relationship with my drugs of choice. So, most of the people I know are either hardcore alcoholics or close enough to an alcoholic like my family is, or, well, specifically my mom. But there's also, I know a lot of fucking potheads, like a lot. Like half the people, pretty much everyone I know smokes a shit ton of weed, more than I do. And they'll chill in their fucking whip, get the L, roll it up, fucking smoke that shit and hotbox it all day long, every day. And you know what? Part of me wants to live that lifestyle of not giving a fuck and smoking the fucking ganja all fucking day. I'd be up for that, because unlike other plebs, I want to use drugs to help me creatively. Because some of my most interesting experiences were with taking psychedelics, and oh boy, those were some fucking adventures. Marijuana is pretty much a low tier psychedelic. It's not as strong as something as like shrooms are, but it does enough of a job that it like makes everything, like, makes your perception of things a lot more intriguing, we'll say. Like, okay, it feels like time just kind of slows the fuck down, and it, like, you kind of think about things a little bit deeper. You become a little bit more introspective, in a way. Like, if you get too high, you might weird other people out by you kind of going off into your own world and thinking and not really paying attention, like it has done with me. Hopefully you're like me when you're high, where you become extremely introspective but also very energetic and very it's a really great combination. But anyways, what I wanted to talk about with Mary J. Marijuana, I want to do, like I said, I want to do more of it. Like, things happened in the past where I was not allowed to have any drugs in my system, or else I would go to jail. Stuff like that was happening, so I had to take a very long 1.5 year tolerance break. Not that I really did it that much to begin with. Like, I was kind of, even when I was like doing it with my friends, it wasn't like as intense. Like, I couldn't go out like every day and smoke. One part because of certain consequences I had to deal with, and nothing is worse than getting high and then immediately being killed because your family does not accept that. They're not very accepting of that. And the second thing was just, you know, I was never into like going full on with it. Like my I have a strange ability to not want to commit to anything I do, which includes drugs. So that's probably a good thing, but at the same time, seeing how like all these like creative individuals smoke a shit ton of weed and that helps them like with their creative process, I felt like in a way doing more of that would just kind of help me out and just make me like more motivated to make shit. And just, you know, like all your favorite rappers and your rock stars and your creative writers, you know, most of them smoked a little bit of the ganja to help create a sudden creative boost. So that's what I want to pursue. But I'm in this catch-22 where, let's say I go out of my way to purchase this substance, and then I want to go do it, but I am too afraid of my family finding out that I do it. And I've been caught many times before, and shit was not funny when that happened, so I have to be extremely cautious. I gotta be like Secret Squirrel. I gotta keep it all on the DL, pretty much. So, let's say I keep it 100% on the DL, and I go outside. I live in a neighborhood that's like really like compact, so I need to find a good day where like people aren't walking around seeing me smoke a blunt or anything, or like pulling out a big ass piece that you'll hit, and so you inject your marijuanas in. So I have to wait till like nighttime, like a good like 10 to 6 o'clock in the morning, around that time. But let's just say there will be a family member up around that time, and he will notice if I try to walk outside my house carrying a duffel bag full of drugs. So I have a very limited time to do this, as you can see. So, but also the timing is shitty because now that I've been working out a lot, I kind of tend to go to sleep around like 11 to 12 o'clock. So if I decided to do all that shit to like sneak out of my house to fucking smoke a little bit of weed. Another thing, I can't roll. I don't know how to roll a blunt. Okay. I mean, I've seen the process, but I have been afraid to do it just because I don't feel like wasting money practicing fucking rolling L's. Even though fucking picking up a cigar is like the cheapest shit ever around where I live. Like picking that shit at most, like a pack of 2 is usually only like $1.35. So it's really fucking cheap, but I'm too lazy to spend the time to go out and learn this shit. So I usually have to take a piece with me, and that's like I said, that's pretty cumbersome since I have to put it in a duffel bag, or not a duffel bag, like a little. I call it my drug sack. It's literally just a sling pack that I put over, like I put all my shit in, so I can like go out and do it. I just put all my weed and like put it into the fucking the bowl piece I have. So yeah, I have to do that. I have to sneak out at like 2 o'clock in the morning with this big fucking duffel bag, and it's currently January, so it's cold as fuck. It's at a like unreasonably cold. It's like unreasonably cold out here. Like I live on the East Coast, and the East Coast can get really fucking cold during the winter. Like sometimes at night it gets to like 25 fucking degrees outside, and then it's not comfortable to be out there for a very long time, even if you're doing drugs. So, you know, like it's not very inviting to go outside at that time. So, you got all this, and then let's say you spend all that time, you wait till like 3 in the morning where he's gonna pass the fuck out, he's gonna be like dead asleep on the couch, and you're quiet enough to sneak out, and then you kind of just chill, find a good old spot where you know no one's gonna see you, even though it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You doubt like anyone's gonna like actually find you at that time, but whatever. You find a nice quiet spot to hit that shit, and you do so, and you get high. But the problem is, you don't know how much to smoke. Like you're not sure if you want to smoke a little bit because you don't want to get too high. Like you can get easily too high, and too high can last from 4 to 5 hours. Like you want to get like decent high. Decent high lasts. Oh, did I say 2 to 5? Okay, 4 to 5. Sorry, 4 to 5 hours if you're that much of a lightweight like me. Yeah, if you get too high, and like sometimes the experience is not great walking back because it feels really slow. But yeah, so you do that. You wanna get like a good 2-hour high. That's the best kind of highs, because like no matter how intense it is, you know it's gonna only last for like 2 hours, so you're not like scared that you're like it's gonna be that fucking long. You know, I mean, like most people want like a 4 to 5 hour high, but I kind of don't. I prefer like highs that are like a good straight 2 hours, because it's really okay, it's more intense during those 2 hours than it is to a 4 to 5 hour. A 4 to 5 hour one is like, it's not that intense. It's like it's just like it's a flat line, and you're stuck in that flat line for 4 hours, even though you need to go to work. Oh yeah, let me lead this in. You spend all night trying to get high. So now you come back and you have to do basically the same thing you did to get out, but now you're under the influence of drugs. So now you're extra paranoid that you'll fuck something up, or you'll wake somebody up, and then they'll start asking you questions, and you're like, no, you don't want to do that. But like, let's just say you got all of that done. So it's now, let's say, like 3:30 to 4 o'clock. It's 3:30 to 4 o'clock in the morning, and then you're just like, yeah, I'm high, but I have work, and I technically have to wake up in like 2 hours. And you know you don't want to go to sleep. If you have to go to sleep immediately after getting high, then like it was kind of just a waste of time, because you're not going to feel the true experience. So that's where my problem is. I just don't. There's no time for me to do it. Like it seems like the best time to do drugs is to have a shit ton of free time, and I've come to a point where like I don't have enough free time for myself, and I found that very annoying because I just want to enjoy a good high and be like so like get so like used to smoking weed that when I go to my friends I don't have to like not hit it as hard as they are doing. I want to keep up with them and feel the rush without any of the consequences. Like they don't have any consequences for doing this shit, but I do. So yeah, I'm stuck in this catch-22 where like I want something, but it's not very easy to get, and it's not very beneficial to do it. So I don't know. If I ever get a time where I can just like not be around my family and I could just like get that shit in my system, like if I can just get that shit in my system without anyone, with like no worries about anything, like yeah, like I said, with family or with the law, man, I would be a very different person. Let me tell you something. Stress would be a non-factor ever in my life, and yeah, I would like that. I know this sounds like really stupid and convoluted, and you might have tuned out because who wants to listen to this wannabe pothead talk about why doing drugs is a fucking hassle? But that's my experience my experience with it at the moment. Hopefully that will change one day. I hope it changes one day. If not, I still got some incense I can burn, and having that fragrance hits your fucking brain, it kind of feels like you're high. So I don't know, it's close enough. And I think I'm gonna end this video with this, because I feel like this was like a decent conversation, and I wanted to end this whole like stupid fucking thing I was making on a decent conversation. So I don't know, I might make another one of these, I might not. I have to like play it back and see if it's like, was it even worth it to make, but whatever. So until then, this is Pagan signing off, and have a good one. Yeah, have a good one? Yeah, let's go with that. Have a good one.